This is the Retirement Solution Podcast with financial advisor Jon Hicks, founder of J. Hagan Capital.
When it comes to your retirement, invest in yourself and take ownership. Or I guess take advice of a billionaire. I will die on the hill of give me the richest people that earned their money. They didn't just come into it, but they earned their money.
Yeah, we don't want any
share their
trust
advice.
fund kids. That's not fair. Silver spoons, that's not fair.
No disrespect, but it's just different energies.
We want to learn from the people who actually did it themselves,
did the work,
right?
Who did the work. I'm Heather Branch. This is Jon Hicks, financial advisor, founder of J. Hagan Capital. RetirementSolutionShow.com is our website and where you can go to begin the conversation. If you have questions about your retirement plan, your investment strategies, we're here to help. We've also got links posted in the show notes. So when you say the name Sarah Blakely, I feel like there's a 50-50 divide. 50% know exactly who it is. Actually, 51% I think is the female population of the world now. So when you say it to most men are going to say, who? Say
Who's
Sarah
that?
Blakely to a woman. They're going to say,
Was she on Dancing with the Stars at one time?
That's my best friend, a.k.a. the inventor of Spanx.
Oh, that's Sarah Blakely. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, she did all right.
She's doing all right. She is doing all right. She's actually, she's 54. She did end up selling Spanx last year for the low price of $1.2 billion. She has since started a whole new business.
Again. So she did women's shapewear, right? Was she the first person to kind of call it that, women's shapewear? Was that out there already?
Not in the way that it is now. She was definitely a pioneer. I mean, it was much more like you think about the corsets and stuff that our grandmothers used to wear. Sure. The way it is now, she was definitely a pioneer in that space. Wow. And obviously her business mind is one that's unparalleled to many others. Sure. And as I was saying before, she sold Spanx. She started a whole new company now. She's created sneaks. She's on a mission to now create the first comfortable high heel. So we'll stay posted on that one, John. But I want to talk about, I bet she does. She's got that way about her. She was on the School of Hard Knocks podcast, and she was talking about how she did all the things with Spanx as a business without taking money from anyone else. This is Sarah Blakely.
It was so easy for me to get investors. You know why? I'm the only investor. I never had a single investor in Spanx other than me. I'm serious. I started it with $5,000 from selling fax machines and self-funded the entire 21 years. So it was really easy to get an investor. I sat down with myself and I was like, do you want to spend your $5,000 on a vacation or do you want to try to bet on yourself? And I bet on myself.
I do want to spend $5,000 on a vacation, but
that would be nice. But I think now with $1.2 billion, she could probably do a lot more vacations.
She does a lot of vacations.
Yeah, or just basically live the life of like being on a vacation.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Did
she say she started off with only the $5,000 that she had earned from selling fax machines?
So I'm a Sarah Blakely super fan. So know that about me. I know lots of things about her. She asked her dad's a lawyer. She asked her dad for some money, and her dad said to her, "Don't take money from me. Don't take money from anybody. Go to the bank, get a loan from the bank, invest in yourself." That's a lesson she took from her dad, and that's where she started with Spanx. Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. That is impressive. But I think that you could almost parlay that same concept, right? You can take that same thing when you're thinking about retirement. The question is, are we betting on ourselves, right? Does that make sense to you, Heather, when you think about it that way?
Yeah.
And here's what I mean by that. So I think so often people get hung up in looking at all of the articles and all of the YouTubes and the TikToks and whatever, and they're saying, hey, I don't have enough money to retire because my number should be blank, blank, blank,
right.
And it's not. Or I have to retire at this certain age because that's when Medicare begins and all this kind of stuff. All of these things that we are told that we either have to do or have to think. We have to have 60% of our money in stocks and 40% in bonds. Whatever these nonsensical blank things are, all they're doing is stopping us from investing in ourselves because we don't have control. One of the greatest things about, and I'm a small business owner too, I get it. I have to have a whole support system to help everything that we do for all of our clientele. I mean, it's tremendous. And every year we increase headcount because we have to, because we need good quality people to do things. But at all points in time, what we try to do is to maintain what my original vision was, which is to make sure that we can get to someone, and when they're thinking about retirement, this is probably going to be their first opportunity to retire. We hope it is. Mm-hmm. We want it to be a great experience. But the main thing is, it's more than just the dollars and the cents. It's, can they do what they want, when they want, with who they want. That is that system of control. And that's what Sarah did. And I think it was really interesting. So often, and this is kind of why I want to do this, if you think about what it means to take ownership of your own retirement, here's what I want you to do. I want you to maintain control over your income, because in retirement, income is the outcome. If you have consistent money coming in, whether it's Social Security or you have an Airbnb, but it's got to be consistent though, right?
Right.
Or you have these incomes coming in, you have a guaranteed pension from your old employer, or you have an annuity income stream, whatever it is, if you can maintain your income consistently, you can maintain your lifestyle. And that's the whole point. And when you have that kind of control, you can basically understand one thing. You have financial independence. So that's the craziest thing. So Sarah took 5,000, turned into 1.2 billion. What I see every day is the people that have saved exceedingly well. They've saved $700,000, $1 million, $3 million, $12 million, but they still don't have a game plan to maintain their control. I hear people all the time saying, well, John, I'm going to wait until I have $1 million. I only get $833,000 now. I'm going to wait till I have 1 million. That's not control, because they could retire right now. And they could do all those things they want to do on their own time with their people they want to and enjoy it now. I believe in the FIRE method. If you have financial independence, then you can retire early. FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. That's what I want everyone to think about. If you do it that way, you're going to be very happy. And some people say, hey, I'm financially independent. I just want to keep working. That's fine. It'll keep you and give you something to do. It'll keep you active. But when you think about how can we make sure that we have our independence, how can we bet on ourselves? Number one, when you're going through these things, you want to make sure you're not relying on the ups and downs of the stock market to provide your income. Heather, that's probably one of the biggest ones.
Okay.
Because if we're relying on what the administration does or what Congress does in order to keep the markets afloat, if we have to rely on that, then there's a good chance that they're not going to help our end of the bargain, right? Sarah didn't take money from outside people because she didn't want too many people making all these opinions and causing things to go awry.
Right.
She was right. Same thing for us. We want to make sure that we don't let the markets control our income. Number two, we have to be very careful about taxes in this country. Right now, taxes are as low as we've seen them in a very long time. The tax bill that was just passed this summer, I feel, is unbelievably attractive to provide opportunities to shift money correctly and legally into things that we will mitigate future taxes. It is so important. It's not for everyone, but if you have saved $1 million or more, there is typically something that we can find that the new law allows that can give us tremendous opportunities to lower our future tax bills. Because guys, right now, we cannot sustain the debt load we currently have with the spending the government's doing. And that was after we've had a government shutdown for a period of time, right? So that's a big deal. That makes me really nervous. And so we have to try to control that tax rate. That is going to be super important so that we can maintain what we want and better ourselves in retirement.
Okay.
And lastly, we need to make sure that headlines do not lead our decisions. Headlines often are just the things out there because if it bleeds, it leads. If it seems like it's bad, they put it out there because they want that gotcha, that shock value. But most of the time, it doesn't really even affect at all our personal economy. It has nothing to do with our day-to-day life. It has nothing to do with where we live or the neighbors we want to talk to or where we want to retire or the type of incomes we need. Okay. So those are the things that I want us to put kind of into a check situation. And the easy way to do that is do what I've been talking about on the show for the past 12, 13 years. Number one, make sure that you protect what you've worked so hard to save, right?
Yep.
So Sarah was able to bet on herself because she had saved that money. She didn't spend it. She could have done a vacation, but then she wouldn't have had the money to actually get that first prototype to change the entire women's shapewear world. It's the truth. So we have to protect what we've worked so hard to save. Secondly, we have to develop an income stream, and that income stream needs to survive even if interest rates go lower or the market falls off a cliff or we go into a recession. And there are all kinds of things that can do that. Social Security, hopefully, is one of those that can do it, at least a portion of Social Security. Annuities are another thing that can do that if you don't have a pension. But all an annuity is just a personal pension. People love their pensions from their old jobs, assuming that company is still solvent, right? As long as it can pay the bills,
right.
People love their pension income. An annuity is just a personal pension. So we have to control our income. And thirdly, the big one of the three, in my opinion, I think that we have to control those tax rates. We can put ourselves in much better positions by utilizing the tax code correctly and making certain that we're paying the least amount, not just today, but over the next 20 to 30 years of retirement. Those are big deals. Those are 3 things that we can do to invest in ourselves so that we can control the future.
I got to reiterate the lists because you gave us 2 lists there. So 1, things not to do. Don't rely on the market for our income. Don't ignore taxes. And don't let headlines force you to make decisions. Then,
of course, yes.
The things to do, control what you can control, it sounds like. Make sure you control your protection. Save your money. Make sure you control your income. Make sure we're revisiting taxes. Control what you can control with taxes, which there is a lot that you can control. So many people think they just got to take it on the chin. They don't even realize how much control over taxes they actually have.
Well, right now, again, especially if we've done a great job saving, if we have a tremendous amount of income, basically, if we are a millionaire, there are opportunities that the GOP passed that allow us to do things that we've not had the ability to do in quite some time. And they can be very attractive if we want to lower our future tax bills. And that's my biggest thing with the amount of debt that the government has. My fear is that tax rates have nowhere to go but up. And if you feel that way or you think that way, you at least need to talk to a skilled advisor, a fiduciary-based advisor that understands tax. They need to have tax attorneys or CPAs on their staff so that we're not always just trying to figure out maybe this is a good thing to do. We want to have an actual game plan and an actual step-by-step solution so that we can be certain that as long as taxes stay the way they do at the moment, we can take advantage of that.
You have, as you're watching this podcast, listen to this podcast, you really you've already done the thing that Sarah Blakely did. You've gotten to this point. You have invested in yourself over and over and over again by building up this nest egg. So now it's time to do again like Sarah Blakely did. Take ownership of all of that. And Jon and his team at J. Hagan Capital, they are here to help you figure that out in a plan of your own. So let's start the conversation. RetirementSolutionShow.com is our website and where you can go to do that. We also have links posted in the show notes. So you can just click there, or again, it's RetirementSolutionShow.com.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with Jon Hicks. Begin the conversation about your savings plan with Jon and the team at J. Hagan Capital by visiting RetirementSolutionRadio.com. Be sure to listen to Jon's radio show, The Retirement Solution, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. on News Radio 840 WHAS.
J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through J. Hagan Capital, LLC, NPN number 1882794.